Hello and welcome to the What's Good with Gil and Larry podcast, coming to you live on this Tuesday, June the 24th. I'm Gilly Rosari. That is my main man, Larry Loper. Listen, NHL finally over. NBA finally over. So we're going to wrap them up, and then we're going to get into WWE like you know we do. We're going to get into some boxing. I know Larry's looking forward to that. So let's get it crack-a-lackin'. Larry, the NHL final has come to an end.
Yes.
Congratulations to the Florida Panthers.
Yes.
They are once again champions. They have beaten the Edmonton Oilers in 6 games this year versus 7 last year. So that's a pretty good run that they've had, because 2 Stanley Cups the last 2 years, and the year before that, they made it to the Stanley Cup and lost the Golden Knights. So the last 3 years, they've had some pretty spectacular results. Ultimately, they are the champs. They are. Listen, once they got Merchant, I mean, that was like the cherry on top. What did you think of their run through the playoffs and the Stanley Cup final and the results? And do you see them slowing down anybody else catching up to them anytime soon?
Oh man, it's going to be hard to catch them, man. It's impressive what they've done. I thought you called it. You said that they was going to beat Edmonton. You called it. You said it was going to be back and forth, and that it came out to it's probably going to end up being Florida beating them. I thought Edmonton, being that when you face the same opponent in the championship, maybe you figured them out, But shoot, this one went to 6, and even make it 7,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was like you could just see they lost steam, man. So Florida just got better. As it went on, the series, they just got better and better and better. And like I said, when Marchand was a great pickup, a huge pickup. I thought that was a piece that just excelled them to the different level. It was already there. He just like you said, they just was a cherry on top. Um, and for Boston to give them up, you give them to the championship team.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I don't see nobody going in there no time soon beating them. What's the closest thing you could think of that might Edmonton? Maybe next year. They do have the best player in hockey.
Yeah, but for how much longer?
That part.
Because it sounded like he took the loss pretty hard, and you don't want to waste away a career. And the big difference between this year and last year was they were not stable at goaltender this year. They were going back and forth. And Florida, they got the Bob, who is, rock steady.
Yeah.
And then they're making a switch Edmonton every other game. So goaltending is most important, in particular in the playoffs. And Edmonton really didn't have it. It's surprising, again, that they got to the finals, but then get exposed against who was clearly the better team. I don't know how much longer Connor McDavid is going to be there, because I just kind of felt like they let him down this year, like the front office and things like that. They needed to upgrade the team, and they didn't do that. And they kind of felt like they downgraded. When you can't keep up with the, goaltender wise, McDavid can only do so much, and people are going to get on him. Well, he didn't score as much and blah, blah, blah. Well, they're honing in on one guy. One guy is not going to beat you. You couldn't do. That's why Merchant did so well. You couldn't just hone in on him.
That's a fact.
He was great. He was great. I think he had 10 goals in the postseason.
That's a fact.
Wow. So congratulations to Florida. They were a better team. Unfortunately, now the other story is what's next for McDavid.
Yeah. Yeah, like you say, you can't waste them years away, man. You can't waste some good years away. And how many chances you gonna really get to a chip? They went back to back, so that's difficult to do. You mentioned earlier that Florida went 3 times in a row. I don't see nobody at the close team I could think.
Well, they went.
More or not, it was because they had a break there when Tampa Bay won. So, it was Tampa Bay won.
Tampa Bay won 2 in a row. and then they lost in the finals to Colorado. So that's how they didn't get 3.
Okay.
And Florida went 3 times in a row, but a couple years ago they lost to the Golden Knights, and then last year they won, and then won this year.
Yeah. So it was a break between that the 3, right?
Well, prior to Florida, it was Tampa Bay 2
Years.
prior to Florida, it was Colorado 1 year, and then 2 years for Tampa.
Okay.
For
So okay.
yeah.
I would probably say next year I'll be looking for a healthy Colorado. You know, they're a different team when they're healthy.
What about Dallas? I thought
I was
Dallas.
about to say Dallas. I was about to say Dallas. Dallas is my forerunner next year. I thought they had a strong team. You can never count the Vegas Knights out, but for me, I'm going with Dallas. I'm going with Dallas. You know, Toronto's going to be one of those teams that's always going to have a good regular season. They just can't get it done in the post. So they remind me of Cleveland. So I'll never say Toronto, you know, because they always pit the regular season. They always do good. It's the postseason with them. I think Dallas was strong. You know, they were strong. So if anybody going to dethrone them, I got Dallas. I got Dallas next year. That I feel will be the team that's going to be able to compete for a chip.
I like Dallas, but I feel like wherever McDavid goes, that's the team that's going to be challenging Florida, especially if he goes to the East Coast. Imagine if he goes to the Rangers.
Man, he goes to the Rangers,
They
man.
do that again 30 years later.
Man.
30 years, more than 30 years then. 30 years. When Gretzky went to the Rangers in 96. And then you could get McDavid to go next year.
Oh man, that'd be something.
I could see that. I could see that happening. Can't waste them away. And you know, Edmonton is a small market. They have good fans, but they're a small market. Big star player like that, he's got to go to a big name place that's good already.
Yeah. Outside of the Rangers, where could you see him going?
So, it's to me, I'm looking for a good team that's got a pretty good market, like Washington.
Yeah, man, Washington. That'd be changing the guards.
Yeah, you'd have
The
right now best player versus maybe the best of all time. I mean, I don't know. You got to put Alex Ovechkin.
Yeah,
You know, he's right there as one of the best ever. If you want to say Gretzky's still number 1, fine.
yeah.
But Ovechkin, you know, you can push him as like the second best. He's like the LeBron.
Yeah,
the
like
NHL right now.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal. So congratulations to Florida.
Congratulations. Yes.
We will pick up hockey once again in November.
Yeah.
That's
season, man.
Previewing the season. It'll just have started. So we'll get into the NHL again. So great season. Now we have more news with the NBA. The NBA Finals with an S has been completed. It went to 7 games. Or I thought it was going to go 6. It did go 7, but it really kind of went out with a whimper when Tyrese Halliburton, unfortunately, ruptured his Achilles, which seems to be the injury these days. So he not only didn't even make it out of the first quarter, he's not going to play all of next year.
Yeah. So does that put an asterisk on the Thunder's championship, in your opinion?
So most people would probably say no, but I'm going to kind of say yes, because he came out like white hot. He was on fire, playing really well, and it looked like they came ready. It looked like they came ready, and they still put up a fight after he went down, but you know, just not enough bullets. not enough bullets in that gun to really compete. It just was kind of an unfair fight. Uh, as it was, OKC was going to be the favorite in that seventh game. But with Halliburton playing so well, and then, uh, you know, with the Achilles, for me personally, I do think it taints it a little bit. I think I'm probably in the minority. I think most people will say OKC was the best team all year.
Mhm.
They were at home. They were
Mhm.
probably going to win. And all that is probably true. But you didn't take the best shot that the Pacers had. And that's not OKC's fault.
No, it's not.
It's not their fault. Injuries happen. You
Mhm.
beat who's up against you.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that I would have liked to see the Pacers at full strength. They started off really well at full strength, and then plane crash happened.
Yeah, I was looking for a classic game 7. I believe with Halliburton in the game, I truly believe it would have been a close game. Well, I'm talking about fourth quarter, coming down to fourth quarter. It'd have been one of the magical games. It'd have been like, okay, I'm going to give you my best shot, and we're going because he just makes the team a whole lot better. And then that's the moments he kind of shine. He done did it every series. Every series he done it. So and then when he starts off hot like that, it was gonna take more effort, I believe, in the stars of OKC to pull it out. They was going to have to get tested. And I thought that would have really, like you said, that would have stamped there. That would have really stamped it. We can't take nothing away from it because it's no. I'm saying you play who's in front of you. Unfortunately, the injury happened. Um, it's like the LA in the bubble. What you gonna do, right? The COVID when they won the COVID chip. Alex Caruso got on the stand and said, I finally won one, right? A real one,
Yeah,
right?
which I thought was kind of weird that he said that.
He said,
Is he throwing shade on his other championship?
But that I think he was that's the comments that was out there. I think he's commenting on the comments out there. They just felt like that championship was just, it wasn't it just wasn't the same. That bubble championship was that whole experience was just a rough experience.
Everybody had an opportunity. I don't get that. Everybody had an
He
opportunity
did.
to win it, and be it for me to defend the Lakers because I can't
Mhm.
stand the Lakers. Which, by the way, up for sale. The Buss family is selling their majority shares. So even though Jeannie Buss will still remain as the governor of the franchise, they will be under new ownership starting next year.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, everybody had an opportunity to win that bubble championship, and the Lakers were the ones to do it. And we're gonna be like, but
Right.
that's not really the real championship.
Right.
I don't get that. That's kind of like those strike shortened seasons, like in '99 when the Spurs won the
Yeah.
championship, and it
Yeah.
was only a
Yeah.
50 game season. We still count it. It
Yep.
still counts. Everybody had an opportunity, but then when you win, it's like, oh well, that wasn't really. That's not how it's supposed
Like
to
you
be.
said, I don't understand how it wasn't because what's the change? What was the difference that you ain't have a crowd there? What
That
was
was
the difference?
was there was no crowd.
There's no crowd. You still get everybody still came out there and played and gave their best effort.
Mhm.
So it wasn't like they said, "Oh, we just not going to play." It was competitive. They played it no different than if it was a crowd there. There just was no advantage for us if it was feeding off the energy of the crowd.
Like
You know,
like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when they beat
but
the
yeah, that
Chiefs.
year, yeah, when they won, nobody says nothing about that chip, right? We don't say, "Oh yeah, Tom Brady." Oh, that don't really count the Tampa Bay because it was a COVID year, and that don't
Right.
count. No,
Right.
we count that chip. We say
Yeah.
Tom Brady got one in Tampa Bay,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, chip's a chip, man. A chip is a chip, man. Ain't nobody give him nothing. Nobody gave it to him. They didn't mail it in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So ain't the same boxing, man. It wasn't one of them paper championships where you could get in the mail. You know what I'm saying? You
Paper
had to earn it.
paper tiger.
The paper, yeah, paper
Paper
title.
tiger.
Yeah, like Handy was. It's paper title.
Mm-hmm. So we had a bunch of trades
Yes, we did.
happen in the last couple days. I think the Boston kicked it off when they traded Drew Holiday
Yeah.
to Portland for was it Anthony Simmons
Anthony Simmons, yep.
and two first rounders or two second rounders?
Two second rounders.
Two second rounders.
Yeah.
And these first and second rounders, they're just giving them away like it's toilet paper. Like, here, you need some? You need some?
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. So Boston is apparently waving the white flag for next season.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Between getting rid of
Sure.
Holiday and Porzingis today, going to the Hawks.
Oh, Porzingis went to the Hawks?
Yeah, you didn't get my text, homie?
Man, my phone died. Man, he went to the Hawks?
Yeah, three team trade.
Well, who?
Hawks, Nets, and oh man, I thought you knew this. Hawks, Nets, and Clippers.
So who got what? Porzingis went.
Oh, Porzingis and a second rounder are going to Atlanta.
Okay.
The team that made out the best was the Nets.
Okay.
The Nets got they got Atlanta's first rounder
This year.
This year, like the 18th pick or something.
Okay.
And they got Terrence Mann from the Clippers.
Okay.
And I forget what the Clippers got. I think the Clippers got a second rounder. And I can't remember what else.
Man.
Yeah, it happened a couple hours ago. That's why I texted to you.
Yeah, my phone was charging up. Man, so that means that I already knew that Boston's going to, Tatum's going to be down.
Mm-hmm.
Porzingis was already questionable, and then you had all that money that you allotted to Brown and Tatum. You already know change was coming.
Mm-hmm.
So
right now they just really have Brown and White.
That's it, Brown and White. Anthony Simmons can score. He's just not going to give you that defensive presence. He can score, so he definitely could put buckets, some buckets up. Still got Al Horford, but he old. We got Pritchard Payton. So they got, it's the East, man. So they'll probably end up being they'll at least still be a playing team. With the East the way it is, they might be. I give them maybe 7 seed.
Well, that's because they're lucky that they're in the East. But
yeah.
They dump salary. They said
Yeah.
they're not going to win it. Let's dump salary. Let's not be up against it.
And then which is CJ McCollum going to Washington. Him and Kelly Kelly Olynyk, whatever that dude name, Olynyk.
Kelly Olbrick or something like that?
No, it's Olynx or IK. Olynyk. He used to be the Gonzaga. He's been in the league forever, man. He's been in the league for like 15, 20, 60 years, man. Yeah, he's old, man. Dude's old, and he's dope, man. He retired, man. You go to Washington, man, it's like retirement. When you at this point in your career, it's retirement, man.
I think it's Olbrick. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, it's Olynyk. Yeah, but yeah. You know what I'm talking about, America. The guy from Gonzaga. He's been in the league for over 15, 16.
That dude.
That guy. And then Poole goes to New Orleans.
Yeah.
Rebuild with New Orleans. And Washington's Washington. Washington. Draft pick.
Washington's really bad.
Yeah, they're terrible.
And I feel like New Orleans is just spinning their wheels.
Yeah. They invested in the wrong thing. They invested in Zion, and he never panned out. He's going to be me. I say bust. I don't care. Nobody tell me that's bust, because you came in this league. Yeah, you went to Duke, and yeah, you was a big dunker, and yeah, you was explosive, and yeah, you went to New Orleans, but we never got a full season out you. That sounds like Greg Oden to me.
Oden never. Oh gosh, Oden never. I don't think, did he even make it to his second season?
He was there
before Portland got rid of him.
No, he was there. I think 3 years.
Was he there 3 years?
Yeah, him and Brandon Roy. That's when Brandon Roy was good.
Man, it's like Portland is jinxed.
Yeah.
They get all this good talent, or they get good opportunities, and they either pick the wrong guy, or guys get injured.
Ugh. They haven't had the squad, man. I mean, of that caliber since Clyde Drexler was there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Talking about that, obviously Dame Lillard may play all, but I'm talking about like championship quality team. Since that was a great team. They went against just a better opponent, was the Chicago Bulls.
Portland was, that's because they didn't win a championship. But in the late 80s, early 90s, they were one of the real good, tough guys.
That's when it was Rose Garden.
First or second seed every year.
Yep. And then even they had a great team when Scottie Pippen was there. They did have a good team when the Lakers.
But that was like 2 years. That was it. 2000, 2001. That was it. I always feel like they were the best team in 2000. They just lost that 7th game. They blew that lead in the 4th quarter.
They did.
And then, Shaq had that alley-oop from Kobe, and that was it. The place.
History is made, man. History is made. Because I believe if Portland would have beat them, they definitely would have won.
They would have beat the Pacers.
They'd have beat the Pacers.
It would have been a good series, but
it'd been a better series than the Lakers playing the Pacers, because it was bully ball. Who was going to stop Shaq? It was bully ball, And then when Shaq went down, Kobe just went to a whole different level. Took over.
People forget the Trailblazers were favored going into that series against the Lakers in 2000, and B, the Lakers I think went up 3-1 out of a shocker. And then Portland won the next 2, and they were up 13-14 going into the 4th quarter in LA. And then, again, plane crash.
Oh, my goodness.
Mm-hmm. That team was good.
It was loaded.
Yes.
Loaded.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, man. Yeah, because wasn't Sabonis there at the time?
That was one of his last years.
Yep, Sabonis and Pippen
Steve Smith.
I think
Stoudemire
was a point guard. Dame Stoudemire. Man, they had a team, man.
They had a good team.
They did.
Was it was Grant still there? The guy with the dreadlocks before he got traded to Miami.
Was he there?
Strong power forward. Was he still there, or did he leave after 99?
I don't know if Grant was there. Oh, you're talking about Grant.
What I just said. Yes.
No, I was thinking. I had to think about the face. You seeing Grant?
With the dreadlocks. He had the
dreadlocks.
I
was had to put the face to the name.
He was Diesel. He was rock solid, power forward, man. And they had Rasheed Wallace.
Yep, Rasheed was there. Yep, Rasheed Wallace was there. Yep. Man, they had a good team. We think about Desmond Bain going to Orlando, and Memphis getting Cole Anthony and Caldwell Pope.
I feel bad for Pope because he seems to always get bounced around.
Yeah.
When they when a team keeps him, they win, like Denver.
Yeah.
I never really got rid of him.
I think he should have left. I don't think he should have left. Didn't he decide? I thought he decided to pick up, or did he get traded, or did he decide to go to Orlando?
I think he decided to go.
I thought he went to Orlando, right?
But I think it was a money thing. Orlando offered him money. Denver's up against the cap. That's the problem with Denver. They don't have a good bench, and they can't afford it because they're paying too much money for 2 or 3 guys.
Yeah, you're right, because they paying Jamal Murray that money. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Joker going to get his paper, and then I think they gave Gordon some money. Yep.
Yeah.
So them 3 right there it put you in a bad spot. No different than Boston when they gave Tatum and Brown on that money. Put you in a bad spot, man. you know, and Philly too, because Philly and B getting paper. They just
Oh,
gave a young boy money, and then they gave Paul George all that dumb money. What
yeah.
you smoking crack, man? Y'all upper management suck. I'm
And
sorry.
and Maxie's
Yeah, Maxie. Well, Maxie deserved the money. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But Paul George, you tripping, man. You tripping. That's why LA ain't want to give him the bread. He's old, man. Like, he ain't the same guy, man. His best years is in Indiana. You know what I'm saying? For real. That they chasing the ghost with him. Okay. Um, we seen him, man. I was like, man, for you to be getting paid that much money, man, you should be more aggressive, man. You get paid all this money, man, when especially when B did the little girl stuff, want to argue with the female referee, you
Yeah.
know, some girl stuff.
Ah.
You gonna flip on the female though, not the male, the female though.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? For a blatant, it wasn't even a blatant, you know, I'm so mad because that was just a whack call because no, dog, it was charged.
Yeah.
Honestly, you didn't get fouled. It was a
Yeah.
charge.
And you
And you
can't
went
act
there fine.
like that. It's a bad look.
Yeah, he didn't want to play.
Yeah. And a
He won't.
series of bad looks this year, that was one of them.
Yeah, definitely was, man. And another bad look, see, we're talking about bad looks, is my dumb behind Knicks freaking man. How do you hold up, man? Hold up. How do you fire a coach,
A good coach.
a good coach, with no idea who's coming in? Now they said, oh yeah, we're gonna interview Nor for Minnesota's assistant.
Mhm.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you serious? Hold up. Are you serious? You know this is a high pressure job right now, right? You can't just bring somebody in that's not proven, okay? Not when you just went to the East Conference Finals. The guy you want to bring in, if you fire this guy, you bring in a coach who's going to say, okay, we got a coach who's going to take it to the next level, meaning championship. Championship.
Mm-hmm. Or at very least, Eastern Conference again. At very least.
Man, they're scratching their heads right now, man.
They
I
are.
I thought Mike Malone was just a given. I thought he was a given. That's why I was like, okay, yeah, you know, gonna let Tibbs go. We gonna get Mike Malone. Cool. Hell, I
Smart.
take Mike
He's smart.
Jackson.
You don't want to deal with that owner. You don't want to deal with
I
James Dolan.
You know, exactly, especially when he just went through with Denver. I don't blame him.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when he went through with Denver. I don't blame him at all. Why would I? Why would I?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think no coach really, not no established coaches want to come in there because of the upper management. They just because that's just this is a bad signal, man. You fire Tibbs, right? And you want me to step in? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The only valuable piece I have on his roster for real for Jalen Brunson. Cat Williams is he's soft. He's soft.
Yeah.
He's
soft. Good, but
and then it's hard to coach him. Obviously,
he doesn't play. He doesn't play like a big man should.
No. And then you paid we gave a lot of capital for Mikal Bridges. A lot. A lot.
The Nets got a lot of picks.
Oh my goodness. For Mikal Bridges, though. Are you tripping, man? Tripping. Oh my goodness, man. Man, that was just dumb. It was dumb.
They thought they were ready. They were close. But you give up all those assets, you better get it right. And they didn't quite get it right.
No.
Give up assets for a guy that's a superstar, and Bridges is not a superstar. He might not even be a star. He's just a good, solid starter. Now, another guy who got traded, Kevin Durant.
Yes, sir.
Still a superstar.
Yes, he's a superstar.
Still a superstar. He's the missing piece that Houston needed.
He is. He's their bona fide able to challenge. Because I think when Jalen Green proved that he wasn't ready for that moment to be a superstar, it made him tradable. Now Phoenix gets a young scorer to go along with Booker. I feel sorry for Booker, man. Booker should just leave. I don't know what you're staying in Phoenix for, man. You getting the money. I get it. You're the franchise, but you're not going to get no chip to Phoenix, man. You're just not. Like, if you wasn't going to get it done with that team, I don't see it happening. I thought the best team they had, once again, it's about the glue players with me, man. When you had Chris Paul, You needed Chris Paul. If you didn't give me Chris Paul and Kevin Durant, you probably got a chip or close to one, because Chris Paul makes it go. He do, because you want Devin Booker to be your two guard. You don't want Devin Booker to be your point. You want to be your two guard.
Right.
You bring Chris Paul in, you can slide KD to 3. You know what I'm saying? Bradley Beal can come off the bench for all I care. You know, but Chris Paul makes it easy for everybody at that time. Obviously, he's older now, and he's older. He should retire soon. He should retire.
He's still on the Spurs, right?
Yeah, he's on the Spurs. But his minutes gonna go down because they're gonna go get that boy Dylan. They're gonna get Dylan Harper.
Well, they have Fox.
Yeah, so now his minutes really going to drop because you got De'Aaron Fox, which will probably slide to the 2, and then you'll bring Dylan Harper in to be, but then you got the rookie of the year. So would you bring him off the bench, or you gonna play a 3-guard lineup?
And who are they gonna draft tomorrow?
They're gonna draft the point guard out of Rutgers.
You think so?
Because
I heard a little something today.
Now
I heard a little something today. He did not go to any of San Antonio's workouts.
They said the same thing with Ace Bailey not going to Philly's workout.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's switcheroo. Maybe Ace Bailey goes to San Antonio, which would make more sense to me because he's your 3 or 4. 6'7", I think 6'7.5", so it'll be a 3. Okay, boom. That makes way more sense to me. You just had the rookie of the year, which was a guard.
Mm-hmm.
You still got Chris Paul. You got De'Aaron Fox, right? Wemby. Why go get another guard?
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
It's very interesting. Philly ain't gonna go get no guard because they got the boy that played for you still got Max, and you got the boy that played for Duke. He came out the rookie from Duke, but he got injured last year. So you already got your guards there. So you don't want to go get another guard.
Right.
Be interesting, man. All I know is Cooper Flagg's going to Dallas.
And that's going to be hot. That team's going to be hot.
I'll say what's going to be another team that you got. But then no, he blew his ACL, right?
Kyrie. Yeah.
Okay,
so
Kyrie
he's not ready the start of the year.
No.
He'll probably come like after All-Star game.
Okay, so if they could just tread water in the West, by the time Kyrie come back, that'll be the punch, you know. And if Cooper Flagg is going to be what he's going to be,
I don't know that you can expect too much from Dallas next year. They're going to be exciting, but like as a contender, I don't think they're going to be ready next year. It's probably the year after that.
You got so who you guys contenders next year? Minnesota?
Yeah. Minnesota, Houston. I got to throw Houston in there.
Oh, for sure. I got Houston, Minnesota. What about
Denver's still good. Golden State's old, man. They're old. They beat a Houston team that just didn't have the offense. They're not going to be if they were to play Houston next year in the playoffs, I'm going to pick Houston.
Yeah, I'm in Houston too. Yeah.
I think OKC is the best team, not only for this year, but they got assets and they got
my goodness. Money. They got assets out the Miami, man.
They got assets and they got money. So they can have to build up that bench even more if they wanted to. And they got picks. They got draft picks.
Who you think they're gonna lose? Because they're gonna lose some pieces. Who you think they're gonna lose?
I don't think they're gonna lose much.
You think Alex Caruso goes?
Much. They got the 3-headed monster.
They got the three-headed monster. So you think Hartenstein goes and Caruso?
You think Caruso's gonna go?
I mean, if he was smart, I'll stay there. But he might give somebody might offer him the bread. He might taste the money.
He a free agent? Caruso a free agent?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I think most of their guys are still
locked in. Yeah, I think Hartenstein ain't a free agent.
I think they can return their starting. I'm just saying they can with the draft this year, they can have young guys develop and come off the bench, and they got money.
And they got money.
And they got money.
They do.
They got
Well,
money.
his score is going to get the money is going to go to extensions now because
What they got to do is they can't upset the apple cart. They can't be like, all right, we got money, we got assets with draft picks. Let's go get a star. Don't
no,
do that. Don't do that.
no,
You got three guys, you got
you
stars.
get Shai the max money because he deserves it.
Yeah.
You're going to extend Jalen Williams because he deserved it, and you're going to get Chet his money.
Yep.
I'm locking them 3 in. They're the future.
Yes.
They're still young. What am I going to get a star for? I got my star right here.
Mm-hmm.
Who
got maybe the best player in the league now.
He is.
And then you got 2 young studs.
If I was Embiid,
defensive team. Oh, fucking. please want Embiid. No, let's not talk about OKC and Joel Embiid in the same sentence. It makes me nauseous.
He might come out next year and say, "I want to go try to win the championship." The process is over. We here.
I wouldn't trade Hardenstein for him.
Man, that's rough.
I wouldn't, because Hardenstein fits.
Yeah, he does.
OKC is doing.
Yeah, he does.
He doesn't demand the ball on offense. He's going to give you that extra possession because he's a good rebounder, especially offensively. He's a good offensive rebounder. Pure energy. I wouldn't even. Embiid is the antithesis. Hope I said it right. Of what you don't want to do. Don't bring in a lazy star. Don't do it.
Yeah.
I'm just the Sixers made their bed. Now they got to lie in it.
They definitely do, man. This
is the team. These are the players you brought in, you kept. It looks pretty crappy now, but they're gonna have a high pick tomorrow.
Yeah, they'll blow that one too. They always blow the pick. They'll blow that one too, man. So it's Philly, man. That's why I could never be a Sixers fan, man. Never. I'll never be anything Philly. Sixers, for Eagles, Phillies. Even that probably the closest would probably be the Phillies, but that ain't happening because I'm a Yankees fan, so that ain't happening.
That's right.
And the Flyers, right. Yeah, keep all them squads, man.
Today, I am not going to talk trash about the Eagles. They are the defending champions, and they got the best GM in the business.
They do.
So they are.
You're a Chicago Bears fan. You don't feel the disdain as I do. You're Chicago.
I don't know about that. You remember the double doink?
Yeah, I don't know.
Double doink. Okay, you heard of that game? Double doink. Okay. Double doink. Yeah, that's one of the worst moments of my life was that double doink. One of the worst of my life.
Of your life.
And they lost in the playoffs to McNabb or in the early 2000s in Chicago. Yeah, and the Bears don't make the playoffs very often, and when they do, and they play the Eagles win.
Yeah.
But the only memorable game that they beat the Eagles in the playoffs was the Fog Bowl, and that was in the late 80s.
Yeah.
So, it's been a long time. The double doink will always hurt my heart.
Double doink.
It will always hurt my heart.
But I don't think it hurts your heart as much as Green Bay. I think Green Bay is your bitter rivals, ain't it?
It's a rivalry because they're the 2 oldest franchises. Green Cardinals.
But in the division, who do you hate the most?
Well, the Eagles aren't in my division, so
that's what I'm saying. In your division, who you hate the most?
But the Bears beat Green Bay the very last game of the season last year.
Right.
But
I'm asking you
that hate right now that I would feel towards the Eagles.
I'm asking you.
Time the Bears were good. They lost to the Eagles with that double doink in Chicago, and I think the Bears could have made a run. I think if they would have got past that game, they could have made it to the Super Bowl.
So, but your hate ain't like my hate. You're going to be for the Eagles. I'm a Cowboys fan, so I hate them for real.
It's the same division. Really, your number one team, rivalry wise, should be Washington. It should be Washington.
It should be, but nah, it's the Eagles. It's the Eagles. We hate the Eagles.
they're the better
We,
team. They've been the better team, and where you live, you're surrounded
even
by Eagles
even
fans.
when they weren't good, we hated the Eagles. You know what I mean? Even when we were them dudes, it's always been a hatred for the Eagles.
Well, look at where they are.
Washington, Washington.
Look at where they are and where we are. We're in Eagle country.
Yeah, I get that part, but I'm saying that even though like Washington and the New York rivalry isn't as bad as that Eagles and Dallas rivalry. It's just a bad rivalry, man. It's bad.
When do you ever hear Washington fans busting on Dallas? How often do you hear that?
You don't hear a lot of them at all.
And how often do you hear Giant fans
My cousin
busting
Giants fan. My cousin Giants fan. He don't hate the Cowboys as much as
that's one guy. That's one guy.
Yeah.
How often do you hear Eagles fans busting on Dallas?
Every
day?
All the time.
Every day?
Every day.
Okay. That's the difference.
That every day.
We are in Eagle country, and of all teams, the Eagles hate Dallas the most. I can't even say it's out of jealousy anymore because they've won 2 titles since Dallas won their last.
They've been the better team for the last 10 years.
More than 10 years.
Yeah.
More than 10 years.
No, come on, man. Ain't been more than
More than 10 years.
Come on, man. We won the division a couple years ago, man. Stop it. We won the division a couple years ago when freaking McNabb, when Jalen Hurts and them had a bomb after he went to the chip and they had a terrible year the next year. We won the division that year. We just bombed out because we lost to Green Bay the first round, second round, home court advantage.
When Dallas makes the playoffs, they're one and done, or they play Tampa Bay.
Play San Francisco. Play San Francisco. That's been our killing. They've been killing. San Francisco been killing us. That's a rivalry. Okay.
That's a rivalry.
That's a rivalry. But you can't say the Eagles has been this awesome team for the last more than 10. No, sir. We won the division a couple years. I got to defend my team. Stop it.
Won a division and then was one and done in the playoffs.
Yeah, but we still won the division though. We still was a 12-4 team though.
Okay, the Eagles got Carson Wentz.
Yes.
Same time you guys got your quarterback.
Right.
Okay. Carson Wentz had a better rookie year. Carson Wentz would have won league MVP in his second year if he didn't get hurt.
Right.
And then 2 years later, they move off of Carson and get Hurts, and the Eagles make the playoffs every year with Hurts.
Right.
Now, they didn't win that first year, made it to the Super Bowl the next year. They didn't win any games the third year, won the Super Bowl the fourth year.
Right.
So you got to say, like, the last 6-7 years, the Eagles in totality have been considerably better than the Cowboys. Considerably better. And we're not even talking about the McNabb era where they were head and shoulders better than the Cowboys.
Yeah, we are
head and shoulders better. Now, that's the early 2000s to like 2010. That's 10 years. That's almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Going to the Super Bowl one time. So we're talking well over 15 years, 17 years, something like that. 17 out of the last 25.
Yeah, we gotta change the narrative, man. We gotta change the narrative, man.
I mean, I don't like saying it. Not that I'm a big Dallas fan, but I can't stand the Eagles. I can't stand the Eagles because of their fans, and I think you're probably on board with that for the most part. Because I don't really have anything against the players or coaches. Although I do think their coach is a dork. But he's still a pretty good coach. Been
a good coach. I gotta give him his props.
He's been in the Super Bowl a couple times. So, but yeah, I mean, I gotta say, in the last 25 years, the Eagles have been better. 17 out of the 25, 18 out of the 25. The Cowboys haven't won when they make the playoffs. They don't win more than one game. They don't win more than one, whether it was Romo or Dak. They don't win more than one game.
We haven't had them teams since Aikman.
I mean, look at all those NFC title games that the Eagles went to. They went to with McNabb, the Rams.
You had one of the better coaches in the league, man. You had Andy
Yeah.
Reid, man. Come on, man.
That's part of it.
Come on, man. You had one of the best coaches in the league, man.
And
Andy Reid.
they had a better quarterback. When you have the coach, when you have the best coach in the division,
McNabb was a better quarterback than Romo. Stop it, man.
Yes. Sorry, not sorry. Romo won one playoff game in Dallas.
They had a better team.
And he blew that game against Seattle all by himself. Blew it because he couldn't hold on to the ball.
He shouldn't have been holding the ball anyway. What quarterback holds the ball?
Backup quarterbacks do it all the time. He started the year as a backup to Bledsoe.
But he was a starter.
He was a starter then, but he went through training camp, preseason, and the beginning of the year as the backup. He became the starter during the season. And he had no problems holding on to the ball until that game, that moment.
It was a lot of sweat on the ball.
A lot of sweat. Hold on to the damn ball, Romo. I'm not one of those guys that thinks McNabb is a Hall of Famer, but I think he was better than Romo. I thought he was better than Romo. Romo won one game. Look at all the playoff games that McNabb won. And yes, it's a team sport. Yes, I get it. But the eye test tells me that McNabb was better, and he's got a better postseason. And McNabb won a game on a broken ankle. But in the rain.
But
Fog,
he threw up in the Super Bowl.
Broken ankle against Arizona.
He had a peanut butter jelly. He had a peanut butter sandwich in the chip championship. Choke master. Threw up in the huddle.
That happened.
Should have threw T.O. for 300 yards. They might have won.
That happened, but Romo only beat Detroit in the playoffs on a very controversial play.
Yeah.
Very controversial.
Man, we got robbed one year, man. You know, daggone right that Green Bay robbed us with that freaking catch. Dad caught that ball. You know he caught that ball. At the
time, I agreed. At the time.
Boy, what you mean at the time?
At the time, I agreed.
What changed now?
Because they've changed the wording on a catch, and you have to make like a football play.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the time doing the eye test, I thought it was a catch. I thought it was a catch 100%. Yeah, you guys won on a controversial play the week before against Detroit. Then you lose on a controversial play the following week, and then Green Bay loses on a controversial play against Seattle the week after that. Yeah. And then 2 weeks after that, Seattle loses on a controversial play to New England.
Yeah.
Remember that with the what's his name throwing the ball on second down when they're at the 1 yard line?
Yeah.
Every game ended on a controversial play.
Yeah, that was a league doing what it do. That was a league doing what it do. The parody of football.
All teams that I hate, by the way. So I didn't care. Screw you, Creepo.
Man,
like
so
little Marie and Rocky.
Before we get to Night of Champions, man, we got the biggest fight, I said, the century, if it lives up to the billing. I'm pretty sure you'll say with Pacquiao, with Mayweather. I'm going to say this is the biggest fight if it lives up to the billing, okay? There's been a lot of chirping going on. There's been a lot of stuff being said about, right now it's a 50-50 fight in a lot of people's eyes.
Who we talking about? We talking
about Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Bud Crawford. Okay. We got the best in Mexico. We got the best fighter in Mexico history ever. I'm giving him that.
What?
Yeah, I'm giving him that.
Oh man, I don't know about that.
Who you gonna get to? Who you get to? Cesar Chavez?
Yes.
What?
Yes. That's who I would give it to.
You get Chavez?
Yes. I would give it to Chavez. Yes.
Canelo went up Canelo done went up different weight classes and got belts, man.
Okay.
Undefeated, man.
Okay, but you also got to look at competition, the era.
He said he fought elite fighters. That's what he just said at the press conference. So Terrence Crawford ain't fighting no elite fighters, and he's been fighting the best. That's what Canelo said.
Well, I'll go this far. If Canelo legit beats Crawford,
Yes,
then I might change my mind. But I thought Canelo got the nod against Gennady Golovkin, and I thought Triple G beat him.
I did too. I agree. I do. I believe that. I thought, especially the first one. I thought
Especially the first one. Second
the
one
first one.
was pretty
Second
close.
one, yeah. I would
But
have
the
leaned
first one,
towards
I thought
Canelo.
Triple
The
G
second
won.
one, but the first one, Triple G won that one. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. He was a more active fighter.
Mhm.
I mean, Canelo countered, but Triple G was walking him down, man. He was
Mhm.
walking him down. I thought he outboxed him. You know,
Mhm.
I thought he outboxed him. And then after that loss, it wasn't the same. And then when he fought Kovalev was just done. Ward broke him. Andre
Yeah.
Ward broke his spirit.
Yeah.
He broke his spirit, man.
Yeah.
That's what
The
the GOAT gonna
crusher.
do. The crusher got crushed. Yeah. And now we got Bud. So what's your opinion on this, man? Because I'm my thing is this.
Are you asking me, or am I gonna wait?
No, I'm asking you first before I give my opinion, man. Go ahead. I'm gonna ask
Right.
you, what do you think?
I know you'll be able to elaborate more than me. I think Terrence Crawford is the best pound for pound fighter since Mayweather was the best pound for pound fighter. And I've seen nothing to deter that other than he's been going on these long layoffs. You know, he's fought once in 2 years. And now he's going up 2 weight classes to a guy that can naturally fight at 168, and Crawford going from 154 to 160. He's not even going to 160. He's going 168. That's a concern for me. But and you have Canelo, who is definitely the most popular fighter, and you got Crawford, the guy that nobody really wants to fight. I think name-wise, I think Pacquiao and Mayweather was the bigger fight. But as far as skill level now, 2 big names, then this is the bigger fight.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I see it. And until I see Crawford lose, I'm going to pick him to win. But this is not going to happen until September, so I can change my mind.
I'm on the same line with that one, man. I think that what makes Bud different is the fact that both of these fighters make great ring adjustments. I just think that in the past, when Canelo was younger, he was more of a counter puncher. You know what I mean? So he still has that in his arsenal. He does have that in his arsenal. So you can't take that away from him. But lately, he's been walking people down because, quite honestly, people are scared to fight him. They get in the ring and it's different when you're talking outside the ring. Like he said, when you get in the ring with me, it's different. I bring a different energy. I bring a different confidence, especially when he's walking you down. Right now, when he fought Bivol, man, Bivol was stronger, but just the hand speed, he boxed him. So if I take that to Crawford, if he could bring that speed up with the combos, Canelo it's gonna be hard for Canelo because that's the fight he doesn't want to fight. He doesn't want to fight with a tricky person, you know. Now, if Bud could take his power, I'm gonna lean towards I don't see Bud. I don't see Crawford backing down. I just don't see it happening. You know, he then took some shots. I remember when he fought Benavidez, even though Benavidez had a messed up knee, he still hit him with some stuff. You know what I mean? He definitely did. He hasn't been down his whole career. Nobody's put him on his pamper his whole career. And he then got in the pocket with some people too. But nobody didn't pit down Canelo either.
Well, here's what I want to ask you. Is each fighter facing the toughest challenge of their career?
Can't say that. I can't say that because I know because Canelo fought Mayweather. He fought Mayweather.
His prime.
In his prime, yeah. That was just a different fight.
And do you think Canelo is the biggest challenge
for Crawford,
or was it Pence?
Nah, I think it's going to be Canelo.
So you think it'll be Canelo,
I think
not
Canelo
just
will be the biggest. Yeah, I think it will be.
be bigger fighter and
A
moving up?
fighter, you're jumping up two weight classes to fight him. And I know the boy. I know the twins did it. The twins did it, but the smaller twin wasn't supposed to be the one fighting him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought that. I mean, skill wise, I just think they don't have the same skill set as Crawford.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't. I thought they went in there and then they just fought a dumb fight. You know what I mean? He fought a dumb fight, and then he was scared of him. He was scared of him. He was scared of Canelo. You know, he talked a lot, but he was really scared. He was happy that the fight was over. You know,
It was also his biggest payday.
it was. So it was a paycheck for him.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think that Crawford really believed he could win this fight. So I'm leaning towards Crawford, but I can't not because, like you said, he's comfortable at this weight. Canelo is not used to knocking bigger guys out at this weight.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So we're gonna see, man. I'm pretty sure that they both gonna come in with a good game plan. Um, I don't think either one of them is gonna be sleeping. I think the Madrova fight when he fought when Crawford Madrova at 154. I think that by him fighting that fight, they show because they said he did the power didn't come up and he looked a little slow, right? Now that might have been deliberate so that Canelo might think that he didn't slow down. Sometimes a fights right there could give you a false impression. You know what I mean? So if Bud is able to concentrate going there, knowing this is going to be a big fight, I don't see it's going to be like it was with Spence. You know what I mean? Because that's the thing against Spence. What you just said, because that was Spence's thing. He had too many layoffs.
Mm-hmm.
It was a while before he fought. So that might be a factor, man. That might be a huge factor. That being off that long. I don't know. I can't wait.
Don't know. We got time to examine it deeper because it's not happening until September. Netflix. So yeah. So in other news, real quick, John Jones, who I believe is the greatest MMA fighter of all time, he announces his retirement, which is very disappointing because he did not wind up fighting Ben Aspinall.
Yeah.
Been the best heavyweight fight probably ever. But it didn't happen, and now he's got legal issues that he's got to worry about, which came out a day later. So one thing is probably connected to the other. We'll see. If the money's right, you can always unretire. And on Saturday, we got Night of Champions with WWE. I think the two big matches are going to be CM Punk challenging John Cena for the title, and Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. The winner will get the King of the Ring title and will be the challenger at SummerSlam to the winner of John Cena, CM Punk. Real fast, how do you see both of those matches going?
I got Cena and I got Cody.
I have Cody. I am not sure about Cena and Punk. Like we discussed earlier, I thought at some point Punk has got to get a title, a real title. And he's been back for a year and a half and he hasn't. He's had opportunity, but gotten a title. So I think it's going to happen at one of these big events.
And then he loses back to John Cena. So I don't think so. I think he's going to ride this thing into retirement, man. I think he's going to ride this thing to retirement.
That I don't think will happen. I'll take a challenge on that one. I think before the year is out, Cena loses. I don't know to who. I don't know to when. But I don't think he retires with the belt. I don't think that happens. I don't think with this heel turn, they're going to allow that, in my opinion. I don't think that's – if he was still a baby face, that'd be different. But that's how we see it. Remember, Night of Champions will be on in the afternoon because it's Saudi Arabia. So if you want to watch it live, I think it starts at 1 p.m., if I'm not mistaken. So that is our show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the What's Good with Gil and Larry podcast on the Box Office Buzz 302 channel. Make sure to check out Matt's Monday reviews every Monday or Tuesday. That's kind of when it's posted. We will probably be doing our shows every other week. We're not going to be doing sports for the next 6 weeks. So we're going to be doing the top 10 movies whatever theme I come up with or we come up with, we'll be doing that probably not next week, but the week after that is when we're going to get that started. So for my main man, Larry Loper, I'm Gilly Rosari. We'll check you out in 2 weeks. We're going to be doing the movies. Catch you then. Catch wrestling. Good to see you. Deuces.